Hi all, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to share a bizarre case of a missing college student whose roommates say just up and disappeared in the early morning hours of March 4th of 2024 from outside of their apartment on North Padre Island. And when I say just up and disappeared, I mean it. There's no trace of him at all. No evidence of what happened to him at all. He's just gone. Period. His name is Caleb Harris, and he's a 21-year-old student at Texas A&M in Corpus Christi, Texas. And on March 3rd, his roommates and family say he was at his home, alive and well and just fine. Then, on the morning of March 4th, his roommates say he was just gone. No idea where he could be. And in the days following his disappearance, his parents say no evidence as to where he disappeared to has surfaced. So nobody has a clue where he is. And it's the same typical, he just disappeared without his vehicle, his shoes, his wallet, etc. His family said it doesn't appear that he had anything with him when he disappeared. And his truck was even locked when they checked it. So he's gone. But everything he owns is still at his apartment, except his phone, which his father says went dead that morning, and that's all they know. Now, I've covered some confusing cases, but this one? I can't seem to get a straight story out of any source I go to. Everything I read is somehow changed in the next news report I hear, and trying to get the facts in this case to share out has been no small feat. So, warning you in advance, some of these facts may no longer be accurate. But there doesn't seem to be much information out there about Caleb's case, and I want to share out whatever information I can to help spread the word that he's missing. So, I'm sorry if I got some facts wrong, but I'm trying and my intentions are good. Now, because there isn't a whole lot of information to go on, I'm going to share what I know, and then I'm going to play interviews with Caleb's parents so you know what they know as well. They are out searching for Caleb, and they have direct contact with the police and searchers. According to reports, Caleb's roommate got a new puppy the day before Caleb went missing, and in the early hours of March 4th, Caleb ordered food through Uber Eats for his lunch the following day, and he took the new dog out for a walk while he waited for his food to be delivered. Around this time, he was also said to have been posting to his Snapchat stories. Then later that morning, Caleb's roommates called his mom saying they couldn't find him. But the dog was back in their apartment, and his Uber Eats delivery was found still sitting outside. Police say they've interviewed the Uber Eats driver who delivered Caleb's food, and they have not named that person as a person of interest, even though it is thought that the driver may have been the last person to have seen Caleb before he disappeared. Caleb's father said he spoke with Caleb the night before he went missing, and he sounded just fine, shared photos of the new puppy with him, talked about going fishing after classes the next day, and had just renewed his lease at his apartment. His parents say he's a creature of habit, and it was normal for him to order his lunch for fishing the following day. So, nothing appears out of the ordinary, other than Caleb has vanished without a trace.
There's still no sign of Caleb Harris. A 21-year-old college student from New Braunfels has now been missing for 11 days. Today, Mandy Noel spent time with search volunteers, a police department, even Caleb's father, as they expanded their search in Corpus Christi, where he goes to school.
Corpus Christi police say nothing has changed in this investigation. Day 11, this is still a missing persons case. They are treating Caleb Harris's disappearance as foul play, a runaway, suicide, or anything else. It's a missing persons case until they know otherwise. CCPD has teams responding to tips, with divers, drones, and cadets searching for Caleb. A team of volunteers is also searching.
Everything highlighted in pink is what we've personally searched ourselves.
For the last week, these teams have walked and kayaked, gone through dunes, up and down Shoreline. Today, it's a field close to Caleb's apartment.
So we're gonna line up right past the stick stuff, and we're gonna line up and for instance going that way. And then we'll come back out of this, come back up this way in this field,
Scouring for any sign that he was here. The Harris family is very appreciative of all the volunteers from New Braunfels, from San Antonio, and the locals here from Corpus Christi that are getting out here and volunteering their time to look for Caleb. The Corpus Christi Police Department also says it's grateful. There are students that are organizing searches and volunteering their time as well. And the Corpus Christi Police Department says as long as these searches are being done in an organized and structured way, they fully support it.
If people show up, we give them flyers and send them to a certain part of town.
Mother, father, and little sister continue hoping.
It's gut-wrenching. It's horrible. The emotions it's an emotional roller coaster.
They watch as CCPD checks on new leads. The Coast Guard helicopter searched on Tuesday. Another group brought in bloodhounds. Police can't say if they found anything, but Caleb didn't leave with much. Not shoes, a wallet, or his keys.
There's nothing missing but him and his phone.
And it's powered off. Randy Harris says, don't speculate, don't share theories, share his missing flyer, and share information from verified news sources.
The number one thing people can do is pray and keep his name out there on social media.
In Corpus Christi, Mandy Noel, News 4 San Antonio.
It's been a week and a half and still no sign of a missing college student in Texas. Police say 21-year-old Caleb Harris was last seen early Monday morning on March 4th when he took his dog out for a walk. He then put the dog back inside his apartment, ordered Uber Eats at 2:45 a.m., went outside to wait for it, and hasn't been seen since. Something is not adding up here, and Harris's family says he just vanished in the middle of the night. Joining me now is Caleb's parents, Randy and Becky Harris. Thank you both so much for being with me this morning. I know this is incredibly a trying time for both of you, a nightmare. How are you holding up?
We're holding up as best we can and trying to get rest and be vigilant and just have a community of people that have surrounded us and are praying for us.
Yeah. Dad, how are you doing?
I'm good. Just staying strong, being patient, and letting the authorities do what they do best. And they're doing a phenomenal job, and just, loving on our family and doing good.
What is the latest in this search? When you talk about law enforcement, are any new developments, leads, overnight as to where Caleb could be?
There aren't any new leads. We're still just looking at everything we possibly can find. And so, today will be another just full day of searching, another full day of just getting the word out, working with social media, anything we can do to continue the awareness, just like you're doing here.
Becky, I understand that your son is a creature of habit. He ordered, as I mentioned off the top, he ordered Uber Eats at 2:45 in the morning, 2 Lunchables, an apple pie, a Red Bull. He ordered that at the convenience store. Does any of that, ring alarm bells for you, or does that all add up and in character for Caleb?
It does add up and is in character with Caleb. That's his fishing lunch. So he knew he was going to be going out fishing after classes that next morning, and that's typically what he takes whenever he goes out fishing.
And have you talked to Uber Eats? I mean, did they deliver that to him, or was the order still sitting on his doorstep?
The order was still on his doorstep, but absolutely, the authorities have gone through and visited with the Uber Eats people and the delivery person and timestamp and everything. So yes, that has been.
Mm-hmm. Are you happy with law enforcement efforts thus far? I mean, do you feel like they're doing their due diligence and keeping you in the loop as a family?
Yes, I think they're doing the best that they can so far, and we are grateful for all of the time that they have put into the efforts of finding him.
They've come out in a massive way to help, especially in the searches with cadets, with Coast Guard, Texas Parks and Wildlife, all of their search teams. They're using every resource they can, and yes, they are doing a phenomenal Absolutely. Very, very pleased with and doing a great job.
Yeah, I know it's all hands
Constant.
on deck. And lastly, parents have instincts, right? I mean, what does your gut check tell you has happened to your son and where he might be?
I know my gut tells me he is out there, and we need to find him, and that I just hope that whenever he's out there and we're looking for him, that he knows how many people love him, and that he recalls scripture for himself, and will cry out so that we can get him home.
Yeah, I know the family's keeping the faith in this time. Randy and Becky Harris, I'm so sorry for everything you're enduring. Thank you for your time. Please keep us posted as to how we continue to put the spotlight on your son's story.
I'm Alexis Scott, your neighborhood news reporter in the Bay Area near Rodfield Road. We've been keeping track of the search to find 21-year-old Caleb Harris since he vanished more than a week ago. And this is one of the many places where law enforcement searched to find him. I spoke with his father as he explains his last conversation with his son before his disappearance.
For the past 11 days, the Harris family has been full of worry and concern since they first found out about Caleb's disappearance.
It's a parent's worst nightmare. You know, where's your children?
Randy Harris, Caleb's father, says he spoke with him the night before he vanished and everything was fine. Hours later is when he received the news from his wife.
The roommate had just called and said he was missing. They couldn't find him. My wife got the call and then she called me and I immediately came down here.
His father tells me the sequence in which Caleb disappeared seems odd. He stayed in contact with his family often and even had upcoming plans with friends, so Randy claims something isn't adding up.
It's his intentions. I mean, texting us, Snapchatting his friends. They had just gotten a new dog that evening and signed the lease on his apartment for next year.
Law enforcement agencies have been working nonstop, using local and statewide resources to find him. Friends have also joined in on the search, creating Facebook pages aimed at finding him.
It gives people a place to go and look and share the good stuff.
Originally from New Braunfels, the 21-year-old came to Corpus Christi to study environmental science at TAM-UCC. Randy says Caleb's dream is to work outdoors as a Texas game warden or an environmental lawyer.
Just smiling all the time, loves to play guitar.
Describing his son as a good person.
He's the kind of person that, you know, if there's somebody's got a flat tire or whatever, he's going to stop and do whatever he can to help them.
As the search continues to find Caleb,
we just pray for patience and for the stamina to continue just anything and everything we can.
His father is asking one thing from the community.
I'm just thankful for the support that we have, and going forward, just continue to be vigilant, continue to be steadfast.
Randy says the family will continue to lean on their faith and have hope in finding Caleb safely. If you know any details about where Caleb may be, you're asked to call Corpus Christi Police. Covering your neighborhood in the Bay Area, Alexis Scott, Chris 6 News.
Came home, roommate got a new dog, and so they, you know, from say 10 on, they were playing with the dog, and you know, we've got, you know, we do have some video of them playing with the dog because they sent us video of the dog, sent us pictures of the dog. My son was also a big fisherman, so he would always swap, you know, fishing ideas and different lures to use, and he was preparing the next afternoon. He had ordered from a convenience store his lunch for the next day, which is very normal, very normal. He's a creature of habit, very normal for him to do that. We got some different chats and Snapchats and stuff. All about 2:58 is when his phone either was turned off or quit working. But he had taken the dog out for a walk and was waiting for his Uber Eats to show up at the front door and put the dog back in. And then, you know, we just didn't see him. I mean, the biggest thing is that he was preparing, you know, preparing for school, preparing for fishing, preparing, you know, new lease on his apartment, all kinds of things that he's, you know, getting ready to do, going to Alaska this summer to work. Just a lot of preparedness, you know, he was doing. And that kind of led up to that. It's like any other college-oriented apartment complex. It's real close to the school. It's not a school complex, but most of the residents are kids, and even within across the street and around his apartment are kids that he knows or either grew up on. He kind of vanished. There's no there's no evidence of wrongdoing, but there's no evidence at all. And so it's a matter of looking at every inch, everything we could possibly think of that the police are thinking of. And we're constantly getting texts that we forward, and so there's a lot of things that we're doing in the background to come up with some clues or some evidence or something that we can grab and go. It is a mystery. And,
But we know that God knows exactly where he is,
yeah.
and that he is, we were hoping that he is crying out to him and is recalling scripture and has a hedge of protection around him wherever he is. And it will be revealed to us exactly where he is, and he'll be home safe. I had just seen him that Friday and Saturday before. And he invited me down to go hang out at his fun spots. And so he took me to different places along the beach that he likes to fish, and he likes to be with people and that kind of thing. And so we just, he's fun loving. He is joyful, and he's a very likable person. And so he was certainly fun to be around for a mom of
A lot of character, very would help anybody with anything they needed. He's very loves the outdoors, loves to hunt and fish, and play his guitar, and good kid, great kid.
Mhm.
The Corpus Christi Police Department is doing a phenomenal job. Lots of intervention. They're letting us know what's going on. They're doing a lot of things behind the scenes that they're just doing a great job, and they're trying their best to progress whatever level they possibly can, and we really do appreciate them. And the biggest thing is that we've got so much support worldwide and
Mhm.
prayers and
The outpouring of support that we have from the community of people that we are involved in right now. But then not only that, but just, the community worldwide that are people of faith that believe in Jesus and are praying for him is overwhelming and comforting at the same time.
the family of Corpus Christi is amazing, and we're thankful for all of their support and continued support. We know he's out there, and we're looking forward to seeing him again. And he needs to know, if he happens to see this, that we love him, and you know he's not in trouble. Police are not after him. Nobody's after him. And no matter what happens, we love him. We want him to be here, ready to go fishing.
We want him home. We want him secure. If you see something, say something, report it, so that, because it's a parent's worst nightmare. And so it's difficult, and there are ups and downs, but we really remain hopeful that he is found and that he will be at home and safe.
This is definitely another strange one, folks. Police say they've searched around Caleb's home with bloodhounds, but have not revealed if they picked up his scent anywhere, or not. And hundreds of searchers have been covering miles and miles of search area, but not one single clue has been found yet. This doesn't make any sense. He wasn't picked up on a camera somewhere? I mean, I thought there were cameras everywhere. Please, consider sharing Caleb's information out on your social media platforms as much as possible. He needs to be found, and he may be in danger. His disappearance is a mystery, but somebody always knows something. I pray he's found safe soon, and his family gets the answers they're desperately searching for. People don't just disappear into thin air. Let's do what we can to help bring Caleb home. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on my next video.